Oh, motherfucker, you can't have my cornbread. That's for damn sure. Because if you try to take my cornbread, part 2 of my killing spree gonna begin up in here on your ass right now. If you think about my cornbread, get the taste out your mouth. That's for damn sure. Now, fuck him. Fuck that. Because I'm from New York City, goddammit. Nobody take no cornbread from me. That goes for you and any other you motherfucking farmers wanna try some shit. You fuck around with me, it's gonna be consequences and repercussions.
What up? It's your boy Maestro Styles and Trey Frazier. We here in the building, y'all. It's the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. We're live on barbershopsportstalkpodcast.com, and also finally, we're live on Instagram Live at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Trey Frazier, Maestro Styles. We're here in the house. You guys want to follow us, just go to IG at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Also, you can follow us on the Facebook page. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. Maestro, man, what it do, man?
Man, cool. And I ain't gonna hold you, man. Everything good. We can get right to some sports talk, man.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I want to get right to the games from Sunday, man. Particularly the Titans and the Chiefs. I definitely want to get into that joint right there, man.
Put a little group chat for that.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. You had a little beef on your way in the group chat.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did have a little beef going on, man. But I'm not gonna.
I would say you represented yourself well for our faction, man. You definitely represented yourself well.
Well, look, man. You just. If you somebody else, man, and you trying to have a dialogue with me, man, you're just not gonna say that I'm gonna deflect from a question, and then when I ask you a question, then you just totally just disregard the question that I'm asking. So, we could have dialogue and we could talk or whatever, but you're just not gonna just talk this whole, you're deflecting. See, there you go again. You're deflecting now. It's like, bro, I asked you a question and you just didn't answer my question. You just went in a whole another direction. But, I had to lay down the facts for him, man. And all you need is just facts to kind of, put people in their place. That's all it is, man. That's really all it is, bro. But as far as the game goes, I tell you what, Patrick Mahomes, man. That this is that nigga. I'm telling you, this is that nigga, man.
He's the best in the league, man. And
yeah.
Like I said last week, man. Look, Lamar Jackson is no doubt the MVP of this year, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to this quarterbacking thing, it's one.
Mahomes is that he that dude. He that dude right now, man.
Patrick Mahomes, he's the best in the league. Don't give me Aaron Rodgers. Don't give it.
We can talk about that.
Respect. He's still in the top 10. You know what I'm saying? That ain't changed, but he ain't the nigga no more. He just ain't.
Nah, we could talk about Rodgers later, but I feel you.
It's Patrick Mahomes. And it's funny because watching the Chiefs beat the Titans. I thought about the Ravens again, man, and it's like, why didn't you just sell out? Why didn't you just sell out and stop the run? I mean, if I had to put 11 in the box, I feel like I know that's not reasonable. I'm just saying, but I feel like
right.
If you would have put 11 in the box and Derrick Henry gonna throw it to somebody wide open, you still had a pretty good shot of winning the game.
Yeah, I mean, again, I hate to go back to last week.
Don't. You don't gotta go back.
Yeah, but you caused me to because you're bringing the Ravens up. So.
You ain't gotta go there. You ain't gotta pick the bait every week, man.
So sure, I don't, but I'm gonna take this one. Again, I don't think defense was our issue the previous week. I think offensively we just got away from the game plan, and that just kind of messed everything up. It just became one big domino effect there. But for
Hold on. See, now
what?
Now you're baiting me into the conversation.
There you go.
You said defense definitely had something to do with it.
I didn't say they didn't have anything to do with it. I just said that the offensive game plan was a totally different game plan that just was a trickle-down effect from the offense down to the way they were playing defense. And
But the defensive game plan was a totally different game plan, too, because apparently y'all game plan was to get ran all over for 195 yards.
well, I mean, what he had the one big run, the one big 55-yard run, and I mean he's had like
5 yards, that's still $140. Like, I think,
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure, and he had what 10 yards here, 12 yards there. I totally get all that, but
you were gassed.
we didn't lose that game because of the defense. Like, number one reason we did not lose that game because we couldn't stop Derrick Henry. We threw the ball. We dropped back 70 times, bro. Like, when the hell have we dropped back 70 times in the regular season?
I mean, I feel like that was a big reason, man.
What?
I feel like him running down your throat is a pretty good reason.
Was it the number one reason?
I think so. I do think so.
Really?
I think
In a 14-6 ball game for the most part, and we couldn't score. Nah, man.
I mean,
Number one offense in the league, huh?
Do you feel like the defense had something to do with it, Tennessee's defense?
Something to do. It had a little bit to do with it, but we also aided them in doing something that we wasn't doing.
And then you also got to put together that Mark Ingram wasn't always healthy. So, I mean...
Right. He wasn't healthy, so they said, you know what? We don't have nobody to run the ball when you actually do have somebody to run the ball.
And Gus Edwards.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I mean,
You can't get a man 3 carries. I'm sorry.
I hear you.
You can't get a guy 3 carries.
We'll agree to disagree. I just can't look past a dude running for almost 200 yards.
Well, I think you and I agree in the sense that, the defense didn't defend Henry very well. I think we agree with that, but I think if you're talking about when you look at the game, the final score and the box score and the stats and all that, for me, number one, I'm pointing to that offensive game plan. Again, number one offense in the league, best rushing offense. Like, I think we broke a record for rushing this year. And, well, I mean, what happened?
Mark Ingram was just as much a part of it.
He was a part of it, no question about it.
Just as much as Lamar Jackson was.
He was a part of it. At the same time, though, when Lamar first hit the scene, who was the running back the previous year? Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards was getting carries in 2018 in this offense. Even when Lamar really wasn't Lamar yet, Gus Edwards was getting carries in this offense.
Yeah, 3 carries is definitely not going to get the job done.
Yeah.
I do agree there.
And 12 total. 12 total carries for the game.
Yeah.
That's not going to get it done.
Yeah.
So.
Man,
But my. Yeah, so I thought.
It seems like they sold out to stopping Derrick Henry, and
yeah.
And then at least defensively, that was it. If you could lock on,
yep,
and Tannehill have to make the throws,
yep,
then you want a good space.
Yeah, I think there were a couple of big plays here. So the 2nd and 1, right, for Tennessee, and I think they were in Chiefs territory, but it was a 2nd and 1, and He throws the pitch back to Henry, and Henry gets stopped at the line of scrimmage, doesn't get the 1 yard, and then it's 3rd and 1, and then they try sort of the same play again, except he hands it off, I think, and the Chiefs stop him again, on 3rd and 1, and I think that was sort of like a big moment in the game where they could have pulled this game a little closer. I think they were still down like 17-34 at that point. And they had a couple chances to convert, some short yardage situations, and they couldn't do it with, the best back in the league, which I thought was pretty, that was deflating, if you ask me, for the Titans. And then the other play was, and you know what, part of this play was so great, but I was also pissed off in a sense. The 27-yard run from Patrick Mahomes. Can somebody lay the wood on this guy? He's a running back at that point. Like, come on, man. Like, can somebody knock the dude down?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I'm with you. I think, and it's funny because it's what I said from the beginning. Because obviously, the Titans were up early, and
yeah.
When it was, I want to say when it was 17-7. I want to say that's where, and I was like, man, if 17-14, and I said, and the Titans got the ball, and I said, if the Titans can't score here,
yep,
this game is over. This game is over because
yep.
They're not gonna be able to play from behind, and I get that you can still run the ball, being down 4 points.
Yep.
Those were. I mean, those 2 drives where they had an opportunity to score, and I know they went to halftime, kind of. They went up 21-17.
21-17. Yep.
Yeah. So but then they got the ball, and I'm like, Tennessee got the ball. I'm like, man, they got to score.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way.
And they didn't score, and once they went up, that that's 10 points by that point, or 21, whatever the math is.
It was 21-17 pretty much the entire third quarter. So at least I could give it.
Once they went up, went up that 28. I think I guess it's 2017.
Yep.
Done deal.
28-17. Yep.
Done deal.
Yeah, they changed something. The Titans did. So in the first few drives, I noticed they would run Derrick Henry on first down, and then on second down, they would do play action, and Tannehill was really effective on second down. That drive, before they gave the ball back to the Chiefs for them to go up 21-7, that drive, they ran the ball on second down, and I thought, why y'all changing it up? Like, I get you trying to get Derrick Henry going and everything like that, and that's all good, but why not continue the play action on second down, because you've been hitting them down the seam and down the field the previous, 2-3 drives. Just kind of stick to what's been working. So I noticed that, and I'm like, you're running first down, second down, and now it's, like 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, and yeah, that, when niggas know Tannehill's gonna throw the ball, it don't work out for Tannehill for the most part. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I got to give Jungle Brother credit, because I was on a back and forth with him on Twitter about it, and all he was saying about Tannehill was that he's just basically a dink and dunk passer. Yeah. And I said, well, it's not like he doesn't have the ability to throw deep. It's just that when niggas aren't expecting it is when he really takes his shots. But when you expect Tannehill to throw, it don't work out for him.
I don't know that I've ever. I mean, when you say capable, I mean, sure, he's a professional quarterback. He can throw it deep, but I don't think that he's efficient throwing the ball deep. Look, like I said, once I saw that it was out of hand, once I saw that it was up and left, I knew they had no chance. Tannehill does not stretch the field. He doesn't. Right,
and I take that word back deep. He throws intermediate, I should say. Like, he can throw 20 to 25 yards down the field, and then his guys could get an extra few yards. I mean, I noticed a couple of plays where his receivers was actually getting some yak, some yards after the catch.
Receiving calls in the league. But, because I got Tannehill at more of a 10 to 15 yard guys where he's still, somewhat proficient.
Right.
I think anything over 15 to 20, man, I don't even think he's trying to take those shots, man. I don't even think he's trying to take those shots. And that seems to be the case not just, in the playoffs, but when he came on as the starter in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
He's a product of Derrick Henry.
But I also think that his receiving core is pretty good after they catch and they can run. His receiving core is pretty good. Cause
so you can play action and throw 10, 15 yards. That's about all he's good for.
Right. Because, he averaged over 9 yards per attempt, believe it or not.
No, I believe totally. But it's more because you got guys who
Yep.
Who can, what I'm saying?
Can catch and run.
Yeah, I believe that totally.
Yep.
But it's not because he's stretching the field. He's not throwing too many balls past 15 yards. He's just not doing it.
Right. No, I hear you. I hear you.
It's kind of like, the Dolphins wish they could have got a running back Derrick Henry caliber, and with just one, maybe one or two receivers that can, run after the ball. I guess they had Devontae Parker, so he's good, and they had Kenny Stills, but Kenny Stills is kind of another boy because he's not really an innocent tackle type of guy when he's in Miami, or really still now. So it's like, I get it. Like, Tannehill, don't nobody believe this dude. Don't nobody believe this.
Nah.
He's probably going to be their quarterback next year. Mario is definitely gone. But I will say this: Arthur Brown has been very creative this year, and I don't hear too much of him being in the coaching pool. Arthur Brown, offensive coordinator. But with what he's had to work with, meaning a regular quarterback at best, a regular quarterback, he's definitely made him look really, really good this year. And I'm surprised that he's not in that little coaching pool. If he is, I'm surprised he's not there.
Man, get the black coaches some jobs, man.
Well, I don't know. But Arthur Brown is like, he's one of those coaches this year who played, who coached well this year, who definitely deserves, to be considered. I mean, they put a lot like the captain that got the Giants job. Like, this nigga shouldn't be. I don't feel like he should have been in no running for no coaching job. I don't even really feel like the Bailey cat should be in the running for no coaching job. But
yeah.
They took enough spaces for people like Arthur Brown, who actually was in the league, earning his position.
Yeah, I hear you, man. But these
along with Eric Bieniemy and whoever you want to add, who was actually coaching in the league and doing a good job. Yeah,
Bieniemy needs to get a job, man. And I don't care if it's because you want to wait until the Chiefs are done with their playoff run. You get the guy, you lock him up, and then you just wait for him to finish his playoff run. I mean, the Lions did it. The Lions did it with Matt Patricia last year. You know what I'm saying? It's no excuse for that. No excuse whatsoever.
So, I guess here we go, right? The man, did I not see this coming?
What? The Packers?
Yeah, I didn't see this coming, man.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. I really didn't. A couple plays for me, right? So, the interception hurt. The one where they were down by 20, I think it was 20-0, and they were getting ready to drive right before the half ended, and Rodgers throws the interception, and basically gave the Niners more points right before the half. You know what I'm saying? So they go up 27-0, and I'm just sitting here. My arms is crossed. I'm shaking my head, and I'm like, really? Like, all I could think about was those wild card games from a couple weeks ago, because those were basically the best games of the playoffs,
right?
In terms of competition, in terms of being able to compete.
Yeah.
And we're getting this garbage on championship weekend.
Did you feel like Aaron Rodgers could bring him back after half?
I felt like he could cut it close. I didn't feel like they were gonna win the game at that point.
Right. Yep. I just continued doing work. I was, doing some housework with Melvin.
Uh-huh.
And when I seen, I was like, man, come on, man, let's go ahead and knock this work out, man, because. And I kept trying to look, like hoping maybe, like, oh shit, he scored a touchdown, like, oh,
Yep. And
they couldn't stop. They couldn't, like, much like the Titans and Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
We know what these Bams is going to do. We know they're running the ball.
Yep.
And they don't want their quarterback to have to throw the ball. I mean, Tannehill more than Garoppolo, but if you want Garoppolo throwing the ball more than you want this running game to be, in effect.
Yep.
And they just kept gashing them. They was gashed. Monster was gashing them.
4 touchdowns, 220-something yards. 220 yards.
220 freaking yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like, bruh,
and
just do 8 times.
I know.
Should do 8 times.
And you know what? And you know what made me upset about it? And I think I realized that not so much my hatred for the Niners, because I really don't hate the Niners, but I just didn't want to see him in the Super Bowl this year because I didn't feel like Garoppolo was gonna be that dude. You know what I'm saying? And to me, he threw 8 passes, and niggas is on TV the next day talking about how much credit does Garoppolo get for this game. Y'all really think this is a debate? Like, yeah, I gotta text you the screenshot, man. I'm watching First Take on Monday, and niggas is really asking that question. Like, y'all really about to debate whether a dude that threw 8 times in a game it deserves credit for the win?
I'm sorry, I could have played that game.
Like, come on, man.
I could have played that. I could have threw 8. I could have threw 8 of them.
Yeah, I could have went 2 for 8, and they would have still won the game.
They still would have won this game.
Yeah, like come on, man. Like niggas want Garoppolo to be this dude, and I'm like, yo, okay, he showed me something against the Saints a few weeks ago. He showed me something against the Saints, but that was just the one time that he really showed me something. I gotta see it against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. For me.
Oh, it ain't gonna happen. I can tell you now. It ain't gonna happen.
Well, I tell you what, he gonna have to throw more than 8 times. If he think he gonna get away with just throwing 8 passes in a Super Bowl, you got another thing coming.
No, and when though, look, like we know what the Chiefs do. The Chiefs go really fast. It's funny because I was watching the Titans have these like 5-6 minute drives.
Yep.
And then the Chiefs just come back and like 2, come back and like 3. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They doing it at half the time, and it's like, all right, I see y'all trying to keep the ball away from them, but at some point, if y'all not turn in touchdowns, which at some point they stop turning in touchdowns.
Yep.
It's going to be this, and this it was.
Yeah.
This it was. It wasn't good. It wasn't good for them not to go back to that game. But going
right.
to getting back to the Packers game. Oh man, Aaron Rodgers let me down, man, and I get that it's not all his fault.
Yep.
But the reason why I picked the Packers it was solely because of Aaron Rodgers. Because
yep.
we know the 49ers defense. We know that.
Yep.
I was expecting 36-year-old Aaron Rodgers in kind of like the twilight of his career, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, was going to have this shining moment and get back to the bowl and maybe win it. I didn't have to win it, but maybe win it.
Right.
And regardless of what happens, I mean, he's a Hall of Famer regardless, but to have them 2 Super Bowls, you solidify at that point when you get to 2. Like
yep.
one,
you're talked about differently with 2 Super Bowls versus 1.
Yeah. Like you're a quarterback with 2 Super Bowls, you're pretty much in, even if you weren't the best quarterback in our team.
Unless you're Eli Manning.
Well, no, he solidified because of 2 Super Bowls more than he has about the stats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you are a quarterback that wins 2 Super Bowls, even if you're not the best stats guy, you're in.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
That conclusion. You win 2 Super Bowls, you're in. And like I said, Aaron Rodgers was in regardless, but that second Super Bowl, it'd have been good for him just to have that. You're solid. You're at this point.
And we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and I said that of the 8 teams left in the playoffs, Aaron Rodgers was the veteran of the quarterbacks left in the playoffs, which means that this was his time now or never to get that second Super Bowl. More than ever.
Let's be clear. I don't see any of these older quarterbacks getting another Super Bowl.
I
got my fingers crossed for Ben, but I think it's done. I think he's done. Brady, as far as both, he's done. Brady's done.
What about Russell?
No, he's not done. But I wouldn't consider him an old quarterback. He's 2012, and I think that's almost 10 years. But I'm thinking like the OGs,
right?
There's an OG. Phillip Rivers is an OG.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers to a extent, but he's an OG.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's over for those guys.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Drew Brees is over.
I agree with that. Because who we talking about? We talking about Mahomes. We talking about Lamar, Deshaun Watson. I'll still give Carson Wentz a shot, but it's not looking good right now. But I'll still give him. I'll put him in that, in that circle.
The Dallas Cowboys have
Dak. Dak is in that group for certain.
So it's young boys. The young boys like that. 2000s to 2010, those quarterbacks.
Yep.
It's a wrap for that. They're done.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you, man.
Anybody 2010 and less, they're done. And earlier, they're done.
I hear you. I think somebody will pull a Kurt Warner though. I do get the sense that somebody's gonna pull a Kurt Warner and
Who has the best chance in your mind to pull a Kurt Warner?
Say that again.
Who has the best chance to pull a Kurt Warner in your mind?
Best chance to pull a Kurt Warner, which means they would have had to have been to a Super Bowl already. I think Breeze has the best shot.
I was just focusing on an old ass quarterback winning the Super Bowl. I wasn't focused on having one already.
Well, yeah. Well, that's why I was saying pull a Kurt Warner, because Warner was in a couple Super Bowls early in his career, then got benched, went to the Giants, got benched, and then went to Arizona and took that team to the bowl and lost it. So what I'm saying is that if you're asking me who's the best person to do that, I think Drew Brees, with the team that he has right now, is probably in the better situation to pull this off. He might not necessarily win it, but getting them there, I believe he's in the best position to do so.
Yeah, I don't think no. Yeah, I would agree if there's somebody, yes, but I don't think anybody's doing it. But I would say this: I hope it's Ben Roethlisberger.
Oof. Yeah, that's gonna be a tough ask. We got some work to do. I mean, the defense is looking good. Yep.
Maybe with Ben back, James Conner don't get as hurt. I hope. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe Deontay Johnson helps out Juju. Juju helps out Deontay. However it happens. So Juju will have a better year because this year was clearly ass. I don't know, man. All I'm saying is I hope it's Ben.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Hey, I want to go back to that Titan Chiefs game for a second here, and I just kind of want to talk about the Titans defense because, and yes, I'm taking a shot.
Should have took it when we were there.
Huh?
You gonna take it when we were there? I thought you was gonna take the shot when we was there.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of getting into the plays and all that stuff. That's kind of how I didn't kind of, jump right into that. But the Titans defense, they did not play well in this football game. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, I don't care if you just, want to put it solely on the quarterback or the fact that Tennessee doesn't have a quarterback. I wouldn't necessarily, break the game down that way. If you're gonna beat the Chiefs, you have to slow the Chiefs down. That's basically how you're gonna win the football game. And the Titans, really for the most part, I saw no splash plays from the defense. I mean, the reason they got off the field on those third downs was because guys were dropping passes or guys just wasn't really getting to the ball to make plays on that. It wasn't so much that the Titans covered well because the Titans really didn't cover well.
They didn't play well.
Yeah. I mean, it's as simple as that. I mean, we know what Tannehill is. We know Tannehill is at best, a game manager quarterback. We know that dude ain't going to light nobody up. You know what I'm saying? But to me, he didn't wreck the game for them.
No.
Yeah.
He can't keep up. The offense can't keep up if you lock down Derrick Henry.
Right.
You're left with Ryan Tannehill, and Tannehill is trash.
We know that. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we knew that. So
we knew that going into the game. We knew if Derrick Henry wasn't going to rush for 200 yards, that Tannehill was going to be in trouble, and that's exactly what happened. Now, it's not like Tannehill turned the ball over, was careless with the football, gave his defense short fields. Like, none of that happened.
Yeah, he was just trash.
No, yeah, that's it.
He was what he's been, except for Derrick Henry wasn't ready. So people wasn't necessarily worried about him because we knew he was trash. Right, yeah. He wasn't going to win the game for the Titans.
Yeah, and I didn't feel like Mike Vrabel wrecked the game up either. I mean, he was coaching to the best that he could coach the football game. It's just that your best player got stopped, and you're asking your quarterback to basically throw the football. And when niggas know Tannehill's going to throw the football, bad things happen. So,
at any point would you have considered putting Mario back in?
Man, I might have, bruh. I might have, but not to the point where, Tannehill was just like all over the place. Because again, I didn't feel like he was reckless with the. I didn't feel like he was reckless. That's all. That's all it was. That's really all it was. So Mariota came in on one play, right?
Mariota always does that. That's what they do when he's in the red zone. They throw Mariota in, try to, imitate the Lamar Jackson experiment, and give defenses something to think about. So they do that. I've noticed that in Titan games. They do that a lot.
Yeah, if I'm Mariota, I am not. If the Titans want to offer me a 1-year deal, I'd tell them niggas to shove it. I'm gonna go somewhere else.
But that does essentially probably mean, much to everybody's dismay, that Mariota might not be a starter next year.
It's possible, but I can also see somebody like a San Diego Chargers, because Phillip Rivers. The story came out, Rivers moved back to Florida. Yeah. So that could possibly mean that he might, just hang it up, or maybe he wants to play for the Dolphins. I don't know what his mindset is, but I mean, you got a couple of teams that, look like they're in need of a quarterback. And looking at this draft, and I know Jalen Hurts, I think, is coming out. That kid Burrow's coming out, but everybody.
Burrow's probably already taken by Cincinnati.
Right. And so that would leave the Dolphins.
Tua is coming out.
Tua's coming out, right. Right. So, but just off the top of my head, teams that need a quarterback, even the Raiders. I mean, I don't think the Raiders are sold on Derek Carr.
Yeah, but I don't think they're getting rid of him either, though.
Well, I don't. I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure. And I think I said it a month ago when they went up against the Chiefs. For the division lead. If you're Derek Carr and you can't beat the Chiefs are going to be around for 10 years. And if you can't beat this team, then what's the Raiders supposed to do? Just keep getting beat by Kansas City?
Well, but I think everybody understands that this may be a dynasty coming up too, though.
Yeah, and that furthers my point. If you're the Raiders,
well, that don't necessarily mean you change quarterbacks. I mean, you kind of hope that you would get faster, maybe somebody that could run with them on defense, or they don't have the best receivers in Oakland, right, or Las Vegas, or wherever the hell they are nowadays.
Yeah.
They don't have the best receivers.
Right.
They don't even have a middle pack defense or receiver core. If you really think about it, I mean, Josh Jacobs had a good year, and we'll see where that goes next year. But I mean, it's not like we're talking about somebody that can fly with them. So it's not like Derek Carr got a whole bunch of they don't have a Travis Kelce or Tyreek Hill. I don't think people expected Hardman to be who he was this year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or Sammy Watkins. So you know what I'm saying? Like they just have a team that was put together that I don't like for instance. I mean, we knew Sammy Watkins could play football. We knew that.
Yep.
I don't think it's like nobody expected him. And if you keep it in the bean, he's not even like he hasn't been super productive and like in Kansas City. He's just been good where you needed him to be good.
Yeah, a good number 2 receiver really at this point.
Yeah.
And I think if you're the Bills, when you drafted him number 4 in that draft that year, you're definitely disappointed that you took him that high. Yep.
Yeah, he's making the best of his situation, but I mean, he's not who we thought he was when he was drafted.
Of course.
And so it's not like Kansas City. These guys they gotta give credit to Patrick Mahomes, man. Like I hate to keep
Yeah.
You gotta give him credit, man. He's doing some crazy shit.
Yeah, man.
And Sammy Watkins is taking advantage of it. And maybe this is the first time he actually had a quarterback, and this is what happens when you get a quarterback.
That's true. That's true too. Because Buffalo, they didn't have a quarterback.
They didn't have a quarterback, and the Rams. You're not gonna sell me on. And then he was there with Fisher, if I'm not mistaken.
Was he?
If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. I thought he was there with I thought he was there with not McVay.
Yeah, it was Fisher.
Okay.
It was Fisher. Yeah, Fisher and McVay.
Oh, okay. All right. So what's his deal with Tom Brady? People think that he's gonna leave. He's gonna come back. He's gonna retire.
On the fact that he's leaving, and I mean, clearly he's not gonna retire. That's clear.
Yep.
He's definitely not gonna retire.
Nope.
I just can't imagine why he would want to leave New England.
Well, for me, what makes sense is you want to be in the best situation, right? Obviously, offensive line, receivers, that kind of a thing. You want to be in the best situation to compete. You also don't want to deal with somebody in your own division, which Tom Brady, maybe with the exception of a couple of years throughout the 20 years he's been in New England, has had to deal with the rest of the division. So if you're in the AFC East and you keep winning the damn division every year, why the hell would you want to leave New England? Are we sold that Buffalo's ready to take the next step? I'm not so sold on that right now.
No.
So if you go elsewhere, you're going to be competing with another quarterback, with another good to great quarterback in your division.
I tell you what I've heard,
Mm-hmm.
or not heard as if it's a real rumor, but everybody's saying he should go to Tennessee.
I've heard that. I've heard that because of the Brable thing and the connection there and all that.
And then, I mean, he's never had this kind of running game. He's had good running games before, but he's never had that.
Yeah, I mean, when's the last time he had a running back of Henry stature, really?
Yeah. I would venture to say that, not counting the Randy Moss year, this AJ Brown, Corey Davis, this is Tajay Sharp. This is probably one of the better receiving corps he's had. If he would have if he went to Tennessee.
That's true.
Defenses, they're good. They're not
great. They're not great. They're good.
It would have been a different game if Tom Brady was throwing the ball than Tannehill. It'd be a different game.
Yeah, for certain. And the Titans' offensive line. Because I do want to give them credit too, because they gave Tannehill some time.
Yeah.
They gave him time, and it just didn't work out. Brady, you give that man time, he's gonna find somebody.
Yeah.
So yeah, that might be a good look. And then when you look at the division, the only team you really got to deal with is the Texans. I mean, everybody else, you're not sure about. The Colts right now, even though I think they should hold on to Jacoby Brissett, I'm not so certain that they could put, the proper pieces around him so that they could, improve. And then you got the Jaguars that just fired Tom Coughlin, and, they look like they about to make some changes, all over too. Oh yeah, that's a done deal, man. That's a waste of money right there, man. I mean, granted, they didn't know he was going to get hurt, but he just don't look right in that offense.
I definitely thought that's going to be different this year.
But he don't even look right in that offense, if you ask me.
Well, I mean, I say that first game when he threw a bomb and then got injured. It looks good then, except when he got injured.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, check this out, man. Let's do this. You got some other topics you want to get into?
No, nothing major. I'm interested in what you got to bring to the table.
I got nothing to bring to the table. and the reason I kind of put a halt to this because we know how this IG live thing works. And so I don't want this thing to shut off in the middle of the show. So if we had some topics, I was just going to shut you off for a minute, go to break on the live feed, and then just kind of bring you back into the fold and kind of come out of the break on the live feed. But since we really ain't got nothing much else to really, talk about really until the next week, then, man, we could just call it quits right here for the week, man.
Well, I won't waste your time. Chiefs winning the Super Bowl.
Because I picked the Packers to win the Super Bowl, but now that they're not there, it's pretty much Kansas City at this point, man.
Yeah. We don't believe in Jimmy G.
Yeah. I didn't want them there to begin with.
Yeah.
For real, so. But shout out to everybody in the chat room. Shout out to Miss Mocha Bella. Shout out to BS3 Sports Radio. And shout out to the homies up in the IG Live chat, Dream 3W and Coach Cornwell. Appreciate y'all. Just don't forget, folks, you can check us out on the website, barbershopsportstalkpodcast.com. Also, you can check us out on Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Also, check us out on the Facebook page. Also, on the Twitter handle at Barbershop SPOR2. We got the YouTube channel, so check us out on YouTube whenever you can. And we definitely got to get some content up there, bro.
It's different. We got a lot to figure out.
We definitely got to figure some things out there. And if you
question, are we posted? We are still posting the podcast to YouTube, though.
Yes. And I'll be honest with you, I think I didn't do it with this episode, but I got to make sure I keep doing that, in the future. So yeah, we'll find a way to get some stuff there on YouTube. So, and folks, if you got any questions or comments about the show, just hit us up on the email, barbershopsportstalk1@gmail.com. So, Maestro Styles, if you got nothing else, man, I'm about to head downstairs and call it a night, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right, folks. Y'all have a great week. You say go Chiefs?
Go Chiefs.
There you go. There you go. Folks, we'll see y'all next week. We break down the Super Bowl, and yeah, the Chiefs are winning. So no need to waste no time there. So peace.